Hi, and welcome to Studio SN. My name is Sara Naumann, and today I want to show you a different way of using Spectrum Noir pens and acetate sheets to create layers of pattern. My card focal has layers of color and pattern plus some stamping to create a really fun sense of dimension. And I'm going to kind of lift up one corner of this so that you can see this is a stamped piece of acetate that has been layered on top of a colored piece of acetate. So this is acetate and this is acetate, and both layers have been colored with alcohol inks. And the alcohol inks that I'm using are the Spectrum Noir alcohol ink pens. So let me show you how I've done this. First, I'm going to bring in a piece of acetate on a piece of white scrap paper just so that you can see it a little bit better. So here's my acetate. And I'm going to create the first layer of my background. So again, bringing in my Spectrum Noir pens, and these are the two that I'm going to use. This is the PP5, which is the pink, and then the CG2, which is kind of a lemony lime color. And you'll notice that there are two different styles to the pens. The pens are both alcohol ink pens, and it's really just a difference in the barrel. So both of them have a fine tip and a chisel tip, and both of them have the same beautiful colors. It's just a little bit different with the barrel. This is the old format and this is the newer format. So just if you're wondering, they're not different pens, just differently shaped pens. And I'm going to start out with the CG2, which is the lemony lime color. Working with the chisel tip, I'm just going to scribble this onto the piece of acetate. And I'm not going all the way to the sides. I'm not filling it completely. Just need to get the center colored on there. And this will dry pretty much immediately if it's not dry already. Yep, it's dry already. And then I'm going to come in with the PP5 and also using the chisel tip. And then in the center, I'm just going to add a little bit more color so that I've got two layers going on here. Now I could leave it as it is because it looks kind of interesting, but I do want to add a little bit more texture to this. So I'm going to use a little bit of spray rubbing alcohol. You can pick this up at your local pharmacy or drugstore in the first aid department. And I'm just going to hold this at a bit of an angle, maybe I would say 8 inches, 6 to 8 inches away, and give one quick spritz. And I think you can already see how that is reacting. Always start with one quick spritz from far away because you can always add more and more and more if you want to, but you'll notice even after a couple seconds after I sprayed that, it's still sort of blending and moving. So rather than flooding the whole piece immediately, you do want to give it a little bit of time in there just so that you can kind of control the blending and blurring of this. So this is one layer of my background. So I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. It won't take very long. And then I'm going to bring in another piece of acetate that I'll layer on top. And this one you can see I've already stamped it. And I've stamped it with two stamps, this border stamp and the happy birthday. Both of these designs are from Quietfire Designs, and these have been they're calligraphy stamps, and they've been designed by Suzanne Cannon, who is a very nice lady, in addition to having really pretty stamps. So she has this really fun border design, and then this set also has 4 sentiments that will fit inside. So happy birthday, happy anniversary, happy Mother's Day, and happy Father's Day. And I used, of course, the happy birthday. Now they are red rubber unmounted, so let me show you this. They come like this. And if you have not used red rubber unmounted stamps before, you do need to adhere them to a block. I'm using Crafter's Companion Rock-A-Blocks for this, and I stick them on with the Crafter's Companion Stick and Spray. Simple, simple process. You just spray this onto your block, let it sit for about 30 seconds, and then you can put your stamp on there. It's temporarily adhered, so you can get it back off again and put another stamp on there or do whatever. So this is a really great solution and lets you use those unmounted stamps. So after I've stamped this on here using my surfaces in black, because you want to use an ink pad that will work with a non-porous surface, then what I'm going to do is flip it over, working from the reverse side. I'm going to use another of my alcohol ink pens, and this is BT5, a really pretty blue. Using the fine tip instead of the chisel tip, I'm just going to go around and trace alongside some of these lines. And I'm not trying to trace directly on top. I do want to get kind of a shadow effect. If it's not perfect, don't worry, because some of it will be kind of hidden anyway, and you're going to be layering this on top of another color. But this is going to give a little bit more dimension and a little bit more color to your piece. So you can see already how pretty that's looking and the contrast between the two. I'm going to leave it halfway colored because I want you to see the difference when I put this onto my sprayed piece. So you can see this side is the one that has the pen on it. This side does not. So here's where I traced with the blue and here's where I left it alone. So you can see there's a really pretty kind of halo effect on here. And then you would just layer the two on top. The reason you want to do your blue pen work on the reverse side of your acetate is because if you do it on the front side, you'll start smearing some of that black ink on there. So let me show you again the original card and we'll talk about attaching things. Now, one question with using acetate or any clear material is how you attach it onto something else. I used a little dab of glue stick right where there's the most color on here, and that will hold it down. For extra security, I used my Tim Holtz tiny attacher. It's like a mini stapler, only smaller than a mini stapler. So you get really cute tiny staples, and I did a crisscross fashion on here. And then inked around the outside edges of this piece to give a little bit more dimension. Layered the second piece onto white paper so it really stood out. A little bit of blue ribbon on here and then some of this fun gingham paper. And the gingham paper is from the Rosemary and Thyme paper pack from Hot Off the Press. So that's where I got that really fun paper design from there. The outside of my card has been inked with the same Black Surfaces ink pad just to give a little bit more contrast on there. So this is how you can combine alcohol ink pens with your acetate to create some really fun layers of color. I hope you enjoyed today's show. For more ideas and inspiration, please do stop by my website at saranaumann.com. Thank you so much for joining me on Studio SN, and I will see you again next time.